working with us for a while. Always new ideas. I will say that we really follow. Vale, this is just decoration. Muy bien, so we're gonna start here with just an appetizer. This is gonna be a version of a Bloody Mary cocktail. I don't know if you're familiar with the Bloody Mary. Yes?
Yeah.
So the only difference that we do is that we're gonna just filter the tomato juice. So we're gonna get a pure water of tomato. We call it Bloody Mary on the rocks because we're gonna serve it with ice cubes. But it's true that the ice cubes are made with the Bloody Mary. So we're not gonna just make it watery. We're just gonna let it defrost. Even if you like, you can eat these ice cubes. Okay. Just the last touch that is gonna be needed. It's gonna come with this salt. It's a celery salt. Normally you add celery, the stick of the celery. In here we're gonna just add a little bit of the salt, okay, to intensify the spiciness. Then just to follow the meal, this is the service of bread and butter. Actually, we're gonna have a toasted butter with a bit of caviar.
Okay, thank you.
And first appetizers. Okay, so the black dish is gonna have calamares a la romana. That's a typical tapa in Spain. It's a deep fried calamari. So we're gonna have a calamari tartar and calamari tempura, which are the tiny balls, and this foam, the foam on the side is gonna be made with citronella. Okay. You mix everything in here, okay, with the fork and the spoon. When you eat that, we're going for this leaf. Okay. It's the Metamorphosis of the butterfly. So we're gonna start with this meringue. It's a dry meringue with a bit of vermouth, black vermouth inside. Then the oruga, which is gonna be espherification of Hilda. You know Hilda?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hilda is kind of the first tapa created in the Basque Country. It's typical on Sundays. Okay, it's basically a toothpick where you put 3 ingredients. You're gonna put anchovy, olive, and piparra. That is a green pepper that stays on vinegar water. So each espherification has one of these flavors. Okay. The base of the plate, this leaf is a shiso, it's a green shiso. You can leave it, you can eat it, but this is more about decoration. Okay? And then we're gonna have a delicate cream, which is gonna be like an ensaladilla, an Spanish ensaladilla with this souffle potato on top. Okay?
Thank you.
Madam Sir, who would like to try the wine?
So we have here your next dish. Okay. What you have here is espeto. Espeto is a type of preparing of sardines. Okay. That's usually you can see it from Malaga. Okay, on the beaches of Malaga. So what you have here is a mackerel that's curated with salt and sugar as well. And then what we have is a sauce that's made with ponzu. And you have an ice cream as well that's made with romesco. Romesco is a type of Catalan sauce that's usually eaten with some calçots here. It's traditional here in Spain. Well, here in Catalonia. That's made with tomato and some pine nuts as well. So what you also have here is a Chinese box. But before eating the Chinese box, we'll eat a little bit of wasabi to clean our palates after the espeto. So this first wasabi comes from Mont Saint, which is one of the highest mountains that we have here as well. So the wasabi is for cleaning our palates after eating the espeto. Next will be the, after eating the wasabi, is the Chinese box. What you have here is a brioche that's fried as if it was a Chinese bun. Inside you have some teriyaki sauce and a little bit of marinated braised eel. Okay, I do recommend you, if you want, you can try it with the aioli that you have here. That's made with oils of this eel as well. And if you want, you can combine it with this wasabi. Okay,
thank you.
hope you enjoy this. Over here. So we have here your next dish. What we have here is the hanging dried tomato, which is from Huelva. Underneath this tomato, you'll see there's a cream that's made with Parmesan cheese and sand that's made with butter as well. Inside of this tomato, what we did is we take all the juices out and we make a tartare, and combining with a little bit of different spices like red curry and some kimchi. Also, you find here some crust on the top that's made with basil, and on the side we have this drink. Okay, this drink is our version of the green gazpacho. It is made with tomatillo. Tomatillo is a type of green tomato, usually used in Mexican cuisine. With a little bit, we combine with some cucumber, a little green pepper as well, and some lime juice. It's a really refreshing drink, so I do recommend you leaving it for when you're finished eating the tomato. Okay? Also leave it here with our bread service throughout the whole dining course. You can accompany it with the different dishes. Okay? Our bread is made with sourdough and with some chia seeds inside. So I hope you do enjoy this. And also over here, let's discover what we have on this box. So what we have here is a box of salt. Also, the letters is salt. Sometimes the kitchen staff likes to hide things from us. So hiding is our red prawns from Palamos. Palamos is a coast that's really famous for their red prawns. So this prawns has been curated around 8 to 10 hours approximately in salt. And what the salt does to the prawns is it intensifies its own flavor, and also it absorbs all its liquids. So these prawns will be going back to the kitchen so they can prepare it for you for much later on. Okay?
La tempura, que son estas bolitas de pasta orli, y la espuma representa el limón, una espuma de citronela.
Okay, so we have here one of the new dishes on the menu, which is called roots, because of the ingredients that we use. What you have here is an ice cream that's made with chervil. Also, what you have is a crust that's made with the Jerusalem artichoke. Okay, that's why that's the main ingredients that we use here. That's why we call it roots. And also, what you have is smoked butter as well, some sesame seeds as well. What we did here is this foam that's made with the sesame seeds and butter, and some rocks of the butter as well, and some crisp that's made with that ink of squid. Okay, so do hope you enjoy this. Also here, if you want, I leave you here.
Okay, this is Oda a Paris Basco. So this is simple, it's an stick tartar, okay? But what we're trying to play around is with the north of Spain, with the Basque country, okay? And we're gonna think on the meat of the north of Spain, and also on Paris because of the Café de Paris butter, which is a butter actually just created in Switzerland. Okay. First of all, what we're gonna do is that we had here an infusion of Cecina. Cecina is a cured beef. It's a cured Spanish beef from León city in the north of Spain. Okay, so we do this broth. Okay, with that, what I add to this tiny glass is that I sprayed. This is actually this wine is an amontillado wine. Amontillado is an oxidative wine in the south of Spain, in Jerez. This is the vintage 1980. Okay, so the sommelier team we went down to the winery, to González Vías. It's one of the most historical wineries in Spain, and they let us try this wine and they bottled it for us. So we just found it here in the restaurant. And actually what our grandmas used to do is that they used to pour a little bit of alcohol on the soups, on the broth, to intensify the flavors. So we're gonna represent that with this amontillado, okay? So the broth is the same ingredient as what you got here. That's gonna be the Cecina itself. Okay, what we do is that we dry it to make it crispy, to intensify the flavors. This point is gonna be as a butter. It's a smoky butter, and then we're representing the tuétanos, the inside part of the bone, with this frozen rock. So for eat it, what you have to do is to take it with your fingers, maybe with the spoon, to just take a bit of the rock and put it on top of the cheese. Okay, that's the beginning, and then we go to the main course. The main course is what we were saying, this stick tartare. On top of the stick tartare, what we're gonna get is this velo of butter, of Café de Paris butter. It's infused with different spices. We're gonna have tongue of the cow that has been fried. The caviar is a smoky caviar, something very unusual. This is gonna be tendons, okay? Cow tendons that are made with its own reduction salts. Okay, so basically this is gonna combine the stick tartare. You can play around with it, okay, as you wish.
Lo que tenemos aquí es tomatillo con zumo de lima, pepino, lechuga y pimiento.
Always is good to have a bit more sauce. Sauce is never bad.
Para este paso es comer primero el tomate y luego beber este gazpacho.
We also are artists, splendid.
Thank you. Our next dish is our version of the French onion soup. Okay, what you have here is a pullet egg that has a little bit of smokiness to it as well, and it's cooked in a low temperature. You also find some Parmesan cheese and a little bit of this walnuts as well. So what you find also on the plate is the different textures of the onion. Okay, I do recommend you breaking the egg so you can get the different textures. And also on the side, what you have here is a Chinese bun that's filled with some truffle brie. Okay, and also you have a crust that's made with the onion juice as well. And please do not eat the onion peels that you have here because it's only for decoration. Okay, when you're finished with this, you can clean your hands with this wet tissues as well. Hope you enjoy this. Okay, so the next dish is our red prawns. Okay, that's cooked in a grill. That's accompanied with some hazelnut that cooked as if they were chickpeas, and also with the salsa suquet, which is a traditional sauce that's made with seafood. You also have the different textures of picada. Picada is a type of sauce also typical here in Spain that's made with nuts. And what you have on the side is this romesco bread. Okay, romesco, as I told you before, is a Catalan sauce that's made with tomato and some pine nuts. I recommend you leaving the bread for last so you can dip it on the different sauces that you have here. And if you want to eat the head of the prawn, sucking it, which is the Spanish way, is you have here some wet tissue so you can clean your hands. Hope you enjoy this. So you have here your next dish, which is the red mullet. Okay, it's a white fish. What we do with the skin is we pour a little bit of hot oil to give that texture of crunch. And also what you have on top of this is some furikake, okay, with a little bit of yuzu as well. So we also accompany this dish with the different textures of the beetroot. Underneath this fish, you'll find this sauce that's made with seafood as well, with the reduction of this fish. You also find here this tartar sauce that you have here that's made with creme fraiche and a little bit of tarragon. So hope you enjoy this.
Very well. Let's carry on now with our main course, where we're gonna get in here our pigeon. It's coming from France. Okay. So the pigeon, as you can smell, it's gonna be based on Mediterranean herbs. We're gonna have a bit of lavender, rosemary. The pigeon itself, it's marinated on soya sauce, then cook it on the oven, and we finish it just frying it all, just to get like a crispy skin. Okay. Do you like pigeon?
Yeah.
Yes. It's coming from France, from the southern part of France. I'm getting actually a big pigeons this season. So just to combine it, we're gonna use carrots. Okay. The idea is to use just this ingredient and to don't waste anything. So we're even frying the skin, we're even frying the herbs on top. There is gonna be an hummus, we got vinaigrette, this crispy onion, and also baby carrots, just to follow. What I'm putting now is the sauce of the pigeon that we make with its own interiors and also the bones of the animal. Okay, we make like a long reduction sauce. It's going to intensify all the flavors. Please, enjoy it. This is the water of human conscience. We're going to have grape juice, and also elderflower liqueur, Saint Germain elderflower. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna just add some dry ice, and we're gonna try to make some bubbles on it. We're gonna try to make it sparkling. This stays here, we use it later on.
This is your first dessert, which is called Jerez. This is inspired by this perfume that you have here. Okay. What we get on this perfume is the different aromas of the perfume. So spray a little bit on this napkin so you can smell it as well. Okay. And what you find on the dessert is the different aromas, as I told you, like different flowers. We get the flowers like, for example, violet flower, roses, some jasmine as well, batak, and also bergamota. Okay. You also have on your plate different textures of the coconut as well. And to give it a little bit of sweetness on this dessert, you have touches of white chocolate and a bit of yogurt. So what we wanted to represent also in this dessert is that we like the history that has behind this perfume, because this perfume was popular in the Second World War because of the name, because it translates to "I'll be back." Okay, so for the ladies, it was like making a promise to the soldiers that they'll be back after the war to them. And then we want to represent as well the napkin, which is used usually when they say their goodbyes, waving around one white napkin. That's why we have this form of the plate. Okay. As you can see, it's like a napkin. And also the crust that you have here, symbolizing what is the design on the napkin as well, like on that era. Okay, so for this dessert, I do recommend you to smell the napkin while you eat the dessert, so you can familiarize all the aromas that you have here. Okay, and also serve you with our Moscato de Asti, or our waters of human consciousness. Okay. So on the glass you have a grape that's been carbonized, so you can eat it as well. And the name comes from one artist that's called Kimiro, who is an intimate friend of Jordi Cruz, and we wanted to represent some dishes on his name. Okay, hope you enjoy this, and salud. So you have here our main dessert, which is called the Heavenly Wind. Okay, the name comes from this artwork that you have here. That's from Kimiro, which is an intimate friend of Jordi Cruz, and we wanted to dedicate some dessert on his name by representing what is the Heavenly Wind for us. What you have here is an ice. First off, is this plate is basically different fermentations of different ingredients, like the ice cream. It's made with fermented pastry with 3 types of vanilla, puff pastry that's filled with some muscovado sugar, which is a sugar that's a little bit more caramelized, and it's more like how do you say this? It melts easier on your mouth as well. You also have a cookie that's made with this same muscovado sugar. And for last, underneath this, you'll find this ganache that you have here on the bottom. Is a ganache that's made with fermented cacao as well. And what we want to do is to combine what is the art world and the gastronomy as well. So I hope you do enjoy this.
Sir,
So,
for you.
for this dessert, Michael.
Okay, so last dessert. We are going to travel to Spanish childhood with a famous candy that it's called koja, which is a lollipop with chewing gum inside. We prepared it with a white chocolate ganache with raspberries, almond biscuit, cherries confitted in amaretto, raspberry sorbet, and a creamy merengue of lollipop.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you. For the last sweets, this is to finish the menu. So let's start with this strawberries that dip with amaretto liqueur and some syrup. You have here some our version of the cheesecake that's made with white chocolate and some pine nuts as well, and goat cheese. You also have here some chocolate that's filled with praline, sweets that's made with pistachio and raspberry, chocolate that's filled with coffee liqueur. You also have here this lipsticks that's made with berries, like strawberry and some raspberry. What you have here is like a sorbet, and if you want you can paint your lips because it has a little bit of beet juice. Okay. You also have here this chocolate that's made with decaf coffee, and also these cookies that's made with orange caramel and some cinnamon. There's no any order, you can start wherever you want, but I do recommend starting with this because since it's like a sorbet, it melts easier.